In order to get to our application account creation page, you can first start by going to howardcc.edu. On our main homepage, you'll hover the cursor over Admissions and Aid and then select Apply. Once you get to this screen, you will scroll down until you see a blue box, Apply for Credit Programs. Once you select that option, you're going to want to go to the Account Creation feature. Now, if you have created an account within the last 2 years and you have an HCC student ID and are trying to reapply, you will just sign in with your email or password. If while trying to sign in with that email or password, you get an error saying that you are locked out or that you have forgotten your password, you can reach out to the recruitment office at recruitment@howardcc.edu so they can further assist you with your password or locked account. If you are creating an account for the first time, you will want to select Create Account. While filling out this information, please make sure that you double check before moving on to the next step that all of this information you have provided is accurate. You will want to put the legal first name and last name. And for email address, please put a personal email address that you have access to and check frequently so we can send you any updates regarding your account. For home phone, you can use whichever phone is available to you, whether that's a cell phone or a home phone, preferably the phone that you use most frequently. For the date of birth, please double check to make sure that you are entering in the correct date of birth. You can either use this drop-down calendar to select the correct day and the correct year that you were born, like so. Or you can also just type in the exact date by using the format that is prompted. Now I will enter in some test information, but you will want to make sure that you enter in your personal information. For these four options, you will want to select yes to either of them that pertain to you. If you are seeking admission as a full-time F1 international student, you will select yes. If you are a current high school student, you will select yes. If you are not, you will leave it no. If you are interested in the Nursing Allied Health program, you will select yes, or if not, you will leave it as no. And if you are interested in playing a sport at HCC, you will select yes. This will prompt you with many more questions to provide the answers to based off of your information. Under high school information, you'll want to provide your high school. This list here is all of our high schools, but if you went to either a private school or another Maryland high school or an out-of-state or out-of-country high school, you will select this option at the bottom. It'll provide you with more questions to answer based off of the specific high school that you have attended. And if you do not see the high school that you've attended on this list, you will scroll all the way to the bottom and select an unlisted high school within the state of Maryland or an unlisted high school that is out of state or out of country. This is where you will provide the high school information. For the actual or anticipated high school graduation year, that is whenever you have graduated or anticipate graduating from high school, you only need to put the year. And then for the entry term, you'll want to select whichever entry term you want to take classes in, whether that is in the spring, summer, or fall, or winter of that particular year. Once you have all of that complete, double check, walk through the information to make sure that you know exactly what you have selected and make sure that it is correct. And then you'll want to select a password and create that account. For now, I will just enter in some random information. And as you create this password, please note that you have to create a password with a minimum of 6 characters and 1 special character. An example is an exclamation point, a hashtag, a $, or an asterisk. and then you can select create an account. Once you have created the account, it'll prompt you to go in and verify your email address. Once you verify your email address, you will be able to log back into your account and it'll take you to this page. Now, if you are interested in completing a general application to HCC, these are the following steps. You will want to select Start a New Application, and then you will also want to select Standard Admissions Application. For any students who have applied within the last 2 years and have a student ID, you do not need to submit a new application. If you would like to change your program of study, let's say from business to engineering, you do not need to submit another application. You can do that by contacting an HCC advisor to change your program. Next, you will select the specific entry term that you are applying for. If the bullet that is selected automatically does not fit what you are interested in, you can select a different entry term here, and then a drop-down menu will be created. Next, you will hit Submit, and it'll take you to the general application. Now, some things to note about the application is we have multiple different tabs or parts to the application that need to be completed. Any field that has a red asterisk is a required field and will need to have some kind of answer submitted. For example, first name and last name have a red asterisk, however, prefix and middle name do not. Prefix and middle name are not required fields. You'll want to make sure that you enter in all of your information, but one thing to note, for the Social Security number, it is not a required asterisk. However, if you'll see here, all of these required fields are listed because you need your Social Security number entered for your account. If you do not submit your Social Security number on your application and need to have that on your record afterwards, you can go to our Records of Registration office to get your Social Security number entered onto your student record. Moving on to your permanent address, you will want to enter in your street number and name, whether you live in an apartment, the city, the state, which if you live in Maryland, the state of Maryland is at the top. It is the first option, the zip code, and then the county. For your contact information, a cell phone number is strongly preferred. Once you are logging into your MyHCC account, you will be asked to set up a two-factor login authentication. It'll be a lot easier to have a cell phone for that two-factor authentication system. So that's why we strongly recommend it. And of course, your email address is whatever you set up for your application account. And once you have all of this information filled out, you can hit Save and Continue to move on to the next page. For demographics, you will want to select yes or no to the question, are you a US citizen? If you select no, there will be other drop-down information that you will have to provide. For questions regarding visa immigration documents or status, you can reach out to our international department at intlstudent@howardcc.edu for more information. These fields on the screen are not required. However, if you would like to provide that information, you're strongly encouraged to do so, especially an emergency contact number. Once you have completed this page, you can click Save and Continue to move on to the next one. For your academic plans, this is asking what you are interested in during your time at HCC. For example, under Educational Goal, this asks whether you want to obtain an associate's degree, a certificate, transfer out, take courses only, or if you're undecided. For the status question, it is asking whether you have attended another college or university, or if you're currently at one, or if you've currently been at HCC before, or if this is the first time that you've ever attended college or university. For planning to enroll, the difference between full-time and a part-time student is 12 credits. If you take 12 credits through 17 credits, you are considered a full-time student. If you take 11 credits or less, you are considered a part-time student. Overload students are students who take more than 18 credits, and you will have to get approval by the advising department in order to take those overload classes. This question is pertaining to whether you are a current high school or middle school student. If you select yes, there will be more options available to you that you will have to fill out. And next, for the area of study, this is a long list of programs that we have available for our students at HCC. Think of this as your major. If you do not know what you want to pursue at HCC, we strongly recommend putting general studies, liberal arts. This will give you a good general understanding of courses at HCC to help you find whatever major you would like. And also, don't feel like this is your end-all be-all major at HCC. You are able to change your area of study very easily with our advising department. For the Academics tab, this is where we want to ask about your high school and college information. You'll want to double check to confirm that your high school is correct. If not, you will want to change it. And when you will start classes at HCC, what will you have? Whether you have graduated with a high school diploma, you have either a Maryland or out-of-state GED, you have a national external diploma, or if you'll still be in high school without a diploma or GED, or will not be in high school without a diploma or GED, or if you do not have a high school diploma and have a certificate of completion. For the high school graduation date or GED earned date, the exact month and day is not as important as the year. What we recommend is students put 0601 or June 1st, and then the particular year that you have graduated from. The year is the most important part. For colleges attended, if you have attended a previous college or university, you will want to select Add College, and you will be able to list the specific college information for where you have attended. And then you will also want to select your highest post-secondary degree. Under our Interest tab, we have a lot of different programs available for our students during their time at HCC, and this is a great opportunity to learn about them. If you want to learn more about any of the programs or extracurriculars that we have for our students, you can click on the blue hyperlink, which will take you to an external page to showcase more information about those programs. While reading on those programs, if you end up being interested in any of them, you will select yes to any of the options. Now, lastly, for the student conduct question, we ask this question based off of our Title IX laws that are you currently or have been involved in a disciplinary process which has led to suspension, expulsion, or was related to sexual misconduct. If you have, you will need to select yes, and then you will have to explain the disciplinary action to us. If you have not, you will leave this as no. And if you have any further questions, click on these blue hyperlinks where they will help direct you. Lastly, you will select yes to certifying that all information has been presented accurately, honestly, and completely, and that you understand once your application has been submitted, it may not be altered in any way. Lastly, for your signature, you want to put your first name and last name. And then we strongly recommend doing preview before submission to review your entire application. You'll notice I have been given an error message. These are multiple different fields that I have not provided information in when they are required. If you receive this error message, you can click on the blue hyperlink and it'll take you directly to where you need to fill out that information. After you have verified that all of your information is accurately presented, you will want to select Submit Application. Once your application has been successfully submitted, you will receive this screen that says your application has been submitted. We recommend that you now click to check your application status. This will take you back to the home screen where you will see an action required if you need any additional supplemental items to be submitted. If you do see action required, you will want to select View, which will take you to your supplemental items and documents, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to submit. For this supplemental item, I have visa immigration documents. This is because I selected no as being a US citizen. What I will need to do is submit any of these documents to this choose files right here. Or if I have any questions, I will email intlstudent@howardcc.edu. The supplemental items will vary for each person depending on how you respond in the applications, but this is where you go to submit any of your supplemental items. If you have any questions about the supplemental items that you need to submit, you can always reach out to our admissions department through email at admissions@howardcc.edu. Lastly, you can go back to your account to review your status. Once you are accepted, this will change from action required to accepted. And then you can also view your acceptance letter by clicking in View, and there will be a new tab generated that says Decision History. That is where you can download your acceptance letter. And that is how to complete a general application to HCC. Now remember, if you need any assistance, you can always reach out to admissions@howardcc.edu or select this hyperlink to find their office hours and location.